Good evening. Let's see, it's Tuesday morning. Oh, what time is it? It's early. It's probably 3 o'clock. I just got up from my evening hiatus bath. I took a bath a little while ago. Mom was tucked in there sleeping. Of course, 3 a.m. she ought to be. Had a good day today at the dialysis center. I will say that the lady in the chair next to me today, I really felt for her. She had a bad time. When you're on dialysis, what they do is, of course, is they take fluid off your body, along with the nasties that accumulate in your bloodstream because your kidneys are not working properly. But in the intervening time between sessions, you pick up fluid sometimes. I don't too much, but a lot of people do. They measure our weight, and of course the fluid is measured in kilos. And I think a kilo is about 2.5 pounds. And I try to go in either at my dry weight or maybe 1 over 2.5 pounds. They take that off. That's like 4 hours of watching TV. Some people go in, they'll have 6, 8, 10 kilos. Incredible. 12, 14, 20 pounds of fluid weight. I don't know how they accumulate that in one day between sessions, but they do it. Anyway, this lady is diabetic and keeps her thirsty all the time. And she comes in with a fair amount of fluid gain. I don't really know how much, they don't tell us, but one of the things that happens when you go into those sessions with really a lot of excess fluid and they have to pull it off of you is you get horrendous muscle cramps in your legs. I don't know how many folks have ever woke up in the middle of the night, with a muscle cramp down in your calf and you're hopping around the room trying to get that thing out. Well, multiply that by a factor of 2 or 3, and that will give you some insight as to what these cramps are like that you encounter when you're on the machine. It's only happened to me once, really bad. I've had little twinges, but my first session, they had me cussing. I mean, it was about as bad a pain as I've ever heard. Anyway, yesterday, this nice lady beside me was in tears, crying for help. And it went on for about 20 minutes. And of course, you're in that chair, and you're quite literally wired in, so to speak. You've got the say to and from hoses running out of your arm over to the machine, so you can't get up and bang around on the floor and try to stomp that cramp out. You just have to lay there until they have some procedures they do on you to try to relieve them. And they got hers relieved on about 3 or 4 different times during that 20-minute period, but then the cramps came right back. And I felt real bad for her. She was crying. It was really hurting her. So, on occasion, there are people that will be on dialysis, and these cramping sessions and some other things that can put you under some duress will get so bad that they choose not to have dialysis. And of course, if you have to have dialysis and you choose not to have it, then of course the result is that at some point you die. And never felt like I didn't want dialysis, but I'm sure that the lady that was beside me yesterday, she not contemplating stopping either, but I feel fairly certain in guessing that she'd rather that it wouldn't be like that every time. I think her last 2 sessions been like that. And I'm going to try to talk to her. There are methods to control your fluid intake. Of course, really the only method is just not to drink as much. You stop and think about it. 10, 15 pounds of fluid. I mean, I can't imagine that I could ingest that much in a day. But I guess some folks, due to the fact that their diabetes keeps them thirsty all the time, can do that. Anyway, I felt very bad for her today. Oh, by the by, folks up Siegel North, we're having a cold snap down here. Really, for us, I about froze to death. 27 degrees. Isn't that a laugh? You know, you're sitting up there having, 5 below, snowing and whatnot, and I'm complaining about 27 degrees. I think it's about 30 out there tonight. Pretty chilly. For us it is. There's some scuttlebutt that we might have a little sleet in the morning, and that'll cause a disaster. There'll be wrecks all over the place. My good friends here in Siegel South here in Texas, they just don't seem to have any awareness of how to go about driving in inclement weather. They get all stirred up when it rains. You'll hear, we live out in the country, but up above us, Fort Worth, Dallas, I call it the metro mess. And when it rains up there, I mean, they'll just have a rash of accidents, hundreds of them, just because the road's wet. Anyway, supposed to sleet a little bit. Got to get a haircut tomorrow. Get myself groomed. Probably get my beard trimmed. What else is going on? Not a whole lot. Things have been good. I'm tickled with the way the election went. I don't know how many of you watched Obama's news conference today. He kind of got right into Republicans' face, which I think is good, because I think the Republicans are trying to hold the country hostage, to this. If you don't do it our way, we'll shut down the government. Yada yada yada. I think Obama's doing all right. I know before the election I was wishing somebody else would run against him, but maybe he's going to change my mind. He seems to have gotten back to more to the political philosophy that I like now. Oh, by the way, did any of you see that guy that was on CNN, Pierce Morgan's show? He had I can't think of his name. He's a right-wing National Rifles Association fanatic. This guy screamed and yelled and said that 1776 would return if you try to come and get our guns. And he invited Pierce to have a fist fight. He said, I'll put a ring up here and we'll fight. And I was watching this guy, and I have to assume some of you might have saw it. It was been replayed lots of times, and all I could think about was, boy, don't ever let me get in front of that guy and him have a gun. Woo! It appears that because of the thing that happened up there in Connecticut, that we might get some reasonable gun regulations. Nobody needs a 30-round magazine. I mean, just you don't need it. Nobody goes hunting with an AR-15. They just don't. I mean, can you picture up there in Eddyville out hunting a deer? For those of you guys in Siegel South, that's a little town outside of the place where I grew up, with a M16 with a 100-round clip. I mean, what good would the deer be? He'd be so full of lead you couldn't eat him. I'm not a venison guy, but there's just no rhyme or reason for having weapons like that. And it looks like that they're going to reestablish the assault weapon ban, which was in effect up until George W. Jr. came in, and he either let it slide or abolished it or something, but the need to put it back into effect, and I think it's going to happen, and hooray! I've got a shotgun and a lever action 30-30. I mean, that's all the weapon a person needs. Anyway, I think that say hi to all my friends. Hi Ike, hi to my sons, Carl and Kyle. By the by, Kyle, Carl and I are kind of back to talking on email anyway, so that's good. Hope all's well up there in Kansas. Love you both. And I think I'll just shut this thing down and post it. But that's it. I can't think of a bloody thing to say, so I might as well quit saying. Politics are going my way, so I don't have to go on a tear. And hope it continues that way. Got this fiscal cliff, national debt, whatever, coming up here in 30 days, 90 days, something. And I'm sure that the grand old party will try to hang us all out to dry on that. But I got a feeling that my president's backing them boys into a corner. They're going to look bad if they do it. Anyway, y'all have a fine one. Listen to me. I didn't bring up my little buddy. Here he is. Hello. Lizard. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of top off last night. I told you it was cold, and I thought I got a short here. If I can, I'm going to put this on the front of it. I don't know if I'm astute enough with my audio-visual stuff that I can put them in the right order. But anyway, we had sleet, and this is pretty major stuff for us, you know. If it rains, if it snows, it only snows, twice a year, so it's almost snow. There's sleet on the road. Roads are kind of froze. Everybody's kind of ooching along. So I'm gonna go out here in a bit, and I gotta get a haircut, like I said. And Mama wants to go to the store, but I'm gonna show you my video of our raging snowstorm. Check you later. Well, you boys and girls remember last night that I told you that it was cold. What we've had is a low grade blizzard. I mean, everybody's easing along in their pickup trucks. Yeah, but it's cold. I don't know what the temperature is this morning. Everything's froze up, icy, and for us here in the Big Star, this is a low-grade blizzard. That's ice. It seems to be on everything, which I guess all right. I wonder what our nifty little, that's our, what do you call that? It's a wind thing, it tells you inside. It's got a little transmitter in it. And of course, that whirligig on top goes around and around. And then it's got a thermometer with a sensor that and a transmitter. And then on Tiana's desk, my darling's desk, there's a readout that says what this thing's doing. So let's go in there and see what it's doing. Anyway, back porch got some dead leaves on it. There's waiting for me to come in, and we'll see what that thing is doing. And we are officially at Signal South Weather Station. It is 31 degrees and a 4-mile-an-hour wind out of the, what? Where? Well, it's 27 wind chill. 4-mile-an-hour wind. Doesn't say where it's come from. I guess it doesn't have a directional gizmo on it. Anyway, handy dandy little gizmo.